Major funding for these broadcasts has been provided by grants from the CUNY TV Foundation, Capital One Bank, Genova Burns, Gian Tomasi and Webster, New York Community Bank, the Witkoff Group, M&T Bank, Perfect Building Maintenance, Chase Commercial Term Lending, Greenberg Traurig, LLP, Kilroy Architectural Windows, New York's Window Company. Additional funding is provided by grants from AKA Hotels, Corman Communities, Aerial Property Advisors, Bank of America Merrill Lynch, Bank Leumi USA, Briarwood Organization, CBRE, Colliers International NYC, Cushman and Wakefield, Customers Bank, DDG, Dime Savings Bank of Williamsburg, Eastern Union Funding, Flushing Bank, Friedman LLP, Gemini Real Estate Advisors LLC, Herrick Feinstein LLP, Hersha Hospitality Trust, Investors Bank, James D. Kuhn Real Estate Institute at Syracuse University, James Orphanides Centurion Holdings, Margolin Weiner and Evans LLP, Madison Realty Capital, Massey Knackle Realty Services, Matone Group, Meridian Capital Group, Newmark Grubb Knight Frank, New Banks, People's United Bank, RBS Citizens Bank, SJP Properties, Sterling and Sterling, Stonehenge Partners, TD Bank, Terra CRG, Urban American, and These Friends.
Vienna, Israel, Fleischmanns, New York, Jersey City, Newport's, a college kid who trades cars. From cars, they get into mathematics, they get into trading, and all of a sudden, NASDAQ. And you go to NASDAQ, and at NASDAQ, it's not NASDAQ. You get on the board of NASDAQ. And then after that, you say, hey, what am I going to do next? I'm going to be in the real estate business. Today I have a very interesting life story. I have Ken Pasternak of KABR. Thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
You know, when you and I got together, we were talking about your mother and your father, and I think it's a very interesting story. Tell me about your grandparents and your dad, how he came to America, how he went to Israel, and your grandfather.
Well, on my father's side, my dad's dad, he owned a delicatessen in Vienna. And my father was born in 1919, so he was growing up through the whole 30s and the rise of the Nazi.
The interesting thing was he had blonde hair. He looked like he was an Aryan.
My father had blonde hair and blue eyes, and he didn't, he had more, kind of, I would say, non-Jewish type of features.
Right, and your grandfather is in Vienna running these food stores.
Correct.
And Kristallnacht, what happens?
So the Nazis started to close down all the merchants that were in Vienna, and so my father had him delivering the merchandise. So they had a lot of merchandise that had limited, that was somewhat like smoked meats and eggs and things like that would spoil. So he was delivering it kind of out the back door to his regular clientele, and he got caught. And he got into an altercation with a Gestapo, and he doesn't know if he killed him or not, but the guy was unconscious and he had a big gash on his head. And
so then your grandfather makes arrangements for your father to be in steerage, right?
Right.
To get over to...
Well, through the Batar, which is a Jewish organization, they essentially smuggled him on a Greek freightliner to Israel to avoid the Nazis taking him away.
Your father's in Israel at that time. Your grandfather is still in Vienna.
Well, right after that, he had a stepbrother who was a U.S. citizen. And about in that 6-month period after my father left, he did get sponsored for a visa and got over here. In the meantime, my father had joined the English Army, and they wouldn't release him to come to the United States, so he stayed in the British Army.
So your grandfather came over here, and you said he lived on the Upper West Side in the Inwood section,
168th and Fort Washington Avenue.
right? Which is still the heavy influence of the Europeans over there.
Correct.
Now, your father during the war fought against Rommel, and then your father, after the war, goes back to Israel.
Correct. He was, yes, he was in the Palestinian, what they call the Palestinian or the Israeli regiment of the British Army. So even when the war was over, he stayed in the British Army, and as we all know, that up to 1948, Israel was part of the British Empire. So he was mustered out in about 1946, and he became a civilian
And then,
in Israel.
now, when does your father come over to America?
In 51.
Okay, tell me about your mother's side.
So my mother's parents were from Poland, and she lived in Liège, Belgium. And she was born in 1926. So at the same period of time, she was 14, 15 years old, and she had a sister that was 6 years younger than her. And her father sensed the anti-Semitic behavior, and I can't say predicted the Holocaust, but he knew it was an unsafe situation.
Right, and he puts them with some Christians.
Correct. He put them in a where the nuns ran a school and an orphanage, and he put them in there, and they essentially hid 6 girls. 2 of them were my aunt and my mother up until 1946, so they hid them for 6 years from the Nazis.
Right, and your mother's family all perished, you said, in the Holocaust.
Correct.
So how does your mother arrive in America?
Well, after the war, she went from the Catholic institution to a Jewish settlement agency, and they went through a connection process, and they found an aunt who lived in Queens, and the aunt in 1948 sponsored her to come to the United States with her sister.
Okay, so now we have the Belgium side, the Vienna side over here. Your grandfather is here, and as you said to me, when your grandfather came over, he started like a bread and breakfast up in upstate New York, Fleischmanns, New York.
Correct.
Okay. Your father comes in 51. Your father in Israel was driving taxi cabs and doing some other things, and he resides on the Upper West Side where Grandpa is. How'd your mother and father meet?
Well, they each went to the Catskills to work in the summertime because they each had some association. My grandfather had the B&B, and the aunt of my mother actually worked in the kitchen as a chef at one of the hotels.
One of the B&Bs.
Yes.
Right. And that's how they met.
So she got a job there through her aunt, and there was a lot of young people there who were working in these hotels and B&Bs, and then they were going out at nighttime and meeting each other and having a social circle that consisted of the help, essentially.
Now, when do your parents get married?
They got married in 1952.
Okay, and then you're born in
54.
In 54, and you're born and you originally reside in New York City.
Yeah, I'm born in the borough of Manhattan. Spent the first 5 years of my life at 168th and Fort Washington Avenue.
And then you go to Fleischmanns, New York. Now, people don't realize that Fleischmanns, New York was more of a hotel scene than the Catskills, you were telling me, in the summer. I mean, in certain aspects. You didn't have the Concord of the grossing years, but you had a lot of hotels. You had like 100 hotels, you were saying.
Correct. And some of them were quite big. There was a Grand Hotel that was owned by the Tisch family, for instance, had elevators, had maybe 300 rooms in it. So there were a lot of grand hotels, had a golf course, and so on and so forth. And a lot of that was built between 1900 and 1929. And one of the 2 big pluses for the Catskills were in the pre-air conditioning days, you're at 3,000 feet above sea level, and it's about a 14-degree difference. And there were, a lot of the...
Now Fleischmann's, did you also pass the Motel on the Mountain and the Red Apple Grill?
The Motel on the Mountain is actually in... the Red Apple Grill is on Route 9W, so before the Thruway, you had to pass that.
Okay, so that was on the way to Fleischmann's.
Yeah, before the Thruway again.
Okay. At this time, your father working in Fleischmanns. He buys a used car lot, and a mechanic. He becomes a mechanic in the used car lot.
He buys essentially a gas station that has a repair facility, and he sold used cars and had a towing service. So
Right.
he's kind of a jack of all trades.
But the interesting thing, which, I grew up in Brooklyn, I still remember television, and you were saying the good and the bad of growing up in Fleischmanns was a very quiet environment, but you also had the opportunity to read a lot because there was no television.
Well, we lived in the valley, and there was no cable till I was about 16 years old, and you could.
And the antennas.
Yeah. Even if you took an antenna and ran a wire down, maybe you could get the NBC affiliate like with 5 ghosts, and barely figure out what was going on. So I never watched TV till we got cable when I was about 16. And as a substitute for that, I went to a library that was donated by Andrew Carnegie that actually was a pretty good library for a small town, and essentially read every autobiography and every
Jay
kind of
Gould
action.
and all these.
Correct. That was my escapism fantasy, so to speak. And
The best place to be with your dad was at the shop, right? So you used to accompany your dad all the time to the shop.
like a lot of old-time Europeans, it's always a question: does the business own the proprietor, or does the proprietor own the business? My father was probably typical of a lot of European proprietors, and you had to meet him on his territory. He wasn't going to meet you on your territory, so to speak.
So your father had this shop, the repair shop, and you were pretty tall for those days, and your dad, you would drive cars illegally when you were like 10, 12 years of age, down short distances. I don't want you to get arrested in New York State for something that happened many years ago.
Well, it might seem a little strange to a city person, but you could even get a farm license at 12 years old in the Catskills 35, 40 years ago. And I was probably 5'10" in 7th grade, and obviously knew how to operate a vehicle. And my father would actually probably look 15 or 16. He would tell a client, "Oh, my son will come with you in the car, and he'll drive your car back for servicing or whatnot, or repair." And I was able to drive cars at kind of 11 and 12, 13 years old already.
How do you make this deal when you're 12 years of age to buy this used Mercedes for $200?
Well, one of the guys who had one of the things my father did was, because he was European and he was kind of an ambitious guy, he was one of the few guys who could work on almost any foreign car. So he had a lot of second homeowners who owned foreign cars. And through the byproduct of me giving people lifts and so on, I developed a bit of affinity with some of the customers. And that one of the customers had a 190 SL. And when it got to be 6 or 7 years old, it got to a point where it needed quite a bit of repairs, and I guess I charmed them into selling it to me for $200. It needed a little bit of repairs, and I spent most of the winter fixing it up, and I sold it for $2,000 the next summer.
So here we are, we got Ken Pasternak, the 5'10", 12-year-old kid over here, who takes a car for $200, puts maybe $100 into it, or more.
I had to paint it. It was probably
Couple $100.
I probably put like between $200 and $400 worth.
So now you had an investment of $600 and you sold it for $2,000.
Correct.
Later on, during high school, you really were even more entrepreneurial, that you were like working with your father as a partner at auctions.
Well, as I got older into high school and then early into college, I started buying and selling cars in partnership with him. So it started out where I'd buy a car and he'd maybe mentor me, and then after a while we started essentially pooling our activities. And I essentially became a partner in the used car part of his business.
Which, as you said, it was a very profitable business as a high school and a college kid.
Correct, correct.
So now, you're living in Fleischmanns. You've been shelters in your environment, and you go to college in Newport's. How come you go to Newport's? I mean, it was nearby, it was a state college, it was reasonable. Those were the main reasons, right?
Yeah, I mean, there were 2 girls for every guy, so I need all the help I can get. But on top of that, I wanted to come home and still interact with my dad during the college years, and it was about 60 miles away, so it was
right, and it was a good way for you to be in the car business also.
Correct.
So what do you do at that time? Is New Paltz was at that time called New Paltz State Teachers College, and it had just changed to more of a liberal arts program.
Right about the time I went there, it used to be called, like you say, the Teachers College. It became a SUNY school, and it broadened its offerings. But in the 60s, it was essentially a teachers college. In the 70s, I was a freshman in 1972. It started to have programs, but for instance, it didn't really have a business school till 1982, 5 years after I graduated.
So when you're going to New Paltz, what are you thinking that you're planning to do?
Probably like a lot of young people, I was more reacting to opportunities as opposed to being real strategic. So I was making a lot of money in the car business. I was maturing socially. I was interacting with my dad, and I was getting an education degree. So I was exposed to all these possibilities, but I really didn't have a firm strategy until I got more into my postgraduate time.
What do? You said you went down to New Jersey to renovate a house, I think, right?
Right. So there was a bad real estate market in the 70s called by the oil embargo. There was a recession, and there was a lot of distressed real estate. So I thought that my next act might be to buy something a little chunkier, buy real estate, and become a renovator, flipper of distressed real estate. So I bought a distressed piece of real estate in Ridgewood, New Jersey for $23,000, and I worked on that for about 6 months, and then sold it for somewhere in the 70s. And in the meantime, I became aware of, between that time and a time before that, where in college, I learned about the NASDAQ stock market.
Yeah, tell me how you learned about the NASDAQ, and tell me about the interesting story of how you found Jersey City, 30 Montgomery, and that.
As a byproduct of me writing a paper on, like a thesis of sorts, a senior thesis of sorts, on how car markets work, I started to study other markets, particularly the stock market and the commodities market. And I realized that those markets were, if you liked and you thought you could make money in the car market, then the stock market opportunities were.
So you're in Ridgewood, New Jersey. How do you end up in Jersey City?
Well, Jersey City was the capital of stock trading at the time. Mayor Koch had an idea to tax stock transactions. So immediately they had a stock transfer tax. All the trading rooms in the mid-70s moved across the river to avoid a stock transfer tax. And they were all coalesced in one area right by the pass station in the Montgomery Street section.
You're a kid from New Paltz. You really didn't know New York City. You were trading automobiles. Then you go into the house. What happens one day at Spear Leeds or whatever the initial place was?
I had a pretty hard time getting a job in the first place because I wasn't anybody's cousin. And eventually, through networking and a couple serendipity, I did get a very low-level job and worked my way up. And then after about a year in the...
Now you were in like you were the librarian.
I started out as a librarian, and then I worked my way onto the trading floor at what they call the quote boy. And then eventually I was a trading assistant and a trader.
But I think that's an interesting story. The guy got sick and...
I was working for a guy, and he went out to Florida on vacation. And then he got so sick, he got laryngitis and he got the flu, that he couldn't even speak to me for about a month. And I ended up making more money than anybody had ever made.
Okay, I can understand trading of automobiles. You buy an automobile at a price and then you sell it. Is it the similar... Now, this was NASDAQ. This was when NASDAQ was booming, right? You get over there.
Right.
Okay, NASDAQ was a different type of exchange as opposed to the New York Stock Exchange. But at that time, there were tech companies coming up, Microsoft, other ones. And, talk to me about...
Well, first off, NASDAQ's a principal market, which means that the stock, every transaction, if you're a seller, the buyer's a dealer, and it's a dealer-based market as opposed to an auction market where there's a facilitator and the buyer and seller meet. So it's a principal market, which is what attracted me. I wanted to be essentially the guy who directed all the traffic and was the other side of every trade. To me, that was intriguing.
How do you control the trades? What makes somebody more successful in this business than someone else?
Well, a lot of it is a twofold. One is to earn by providing more liquidity, to participate in the most volume you can. And then at the end of the day, you do that through adding more value to the customer. But once essentially you're creating a position, which is capital. Think of it like equity capital. And how you manage that equity capital after you.
So give me an idea, okay? I give you $100,000. What do you do with that $100,000?
Well, it's more about, as opposed to absolute money, think of it this way. A guy wants to sell 1,000 shares of IBM at $100. So that's $100,000.
Right.
He has to go to a dealer. So he comes to the marketplace. I buy that. Now I own $100,000 worth of IBM. And I have to decide how to, there's a spread between the bid and the ask. It used to be an eighth of a dollar. Now it's about a penny or 2 pennies. And the ability to capture that spread many times a day and understand the laws of supply and demand and when to buy it and how many to buy and how quick to buy it, determine what, what your P&L is going to be, or your profit.
So you're working for Spear Leads at this time. And then what happens one day when you wake up and you and your partner, you and your buddy decide in the mid-90s to start this company called Night Trading?
Well, just to put that backwards, so we were running, Walter Rackay, who was the co-founder of Night along with myself, we were working on a variety of strategic initiatives, and part of it was we started to take a lot of order flow that was initiated through either telephones or dial-up before you had the internet.
We're talking about the internet, right?
Right. Before the internet, there were these dial-up services like Prodigy, and AOL was a dial-up service.
But it wasn't it your brother who explained this to you, said to me?
Well, so we saw that the behaviors when somebody was empowered by the information and the immediacy and the cost of a dial-up service, how much their trading increased typically by a factor of 10 or even 100 sometimes. And the big impediment was the cost of that dial-up service. And I was telling my brother, who's basically a geek, a technology geek, he's the educated guy who has various mathematics and engineering. He became a programmer. So he said to me, Ken, you have it all wrong. There's this thing called the internet, and it's going to be for free. All that connectivity in it is going to be instantly available, and it's going to be free. And Walter and I kind of looked at each other, and we realized that they'd be a changing in the guard, that empowerment to self-directed investors would create a humongous amount of volume in the marketplace. Before that, the marketplace was dominated by the mutual funds and very slow type of trading.
So what happens? How do you start Night?
So Walter and I put together a business plan, essentially, that we call the next generation market maker, but it was hinged on an understanding that the internet would change everything, and you'd have to automate, and that the volumes would increase exponentially, and that you'd have to do, and just to give you an example that might frame it, in 1995, the largest market maker that we ran before we started Night at Spear Leads did 5,000 trades a day, and today, about 20 years, not even 20 years later, Night does 4 million trades a day.
5,000?
To 4 million.
Okay. Now, you start Night in 94, you go public in 98?
Correct.
And Night grows to what type of capitalization before you left?
In 1999, it had a market cap of, we like to say, somewhat tongue-in-cheek, that it had a market cap that exceeded Lehman's and Bear Stearns of about $7 billion, and it still does.
Right. Now, when you were at Night, okay, the kid from Fleischmanns also gets involved. You become a governor of the NASDAQ?
I did. I was on both the NASD's board of governors, and later on I was in the board of directors of NASDAQ when it demutualized and became public. You
were awarded the Ernst & Young Entrepreneurial Award, right?
I was.
And then in 2001, you decide, due to some health problems and a variety of other things, that it's time that you've done that, and you decided that you want to get back into like running a private office and getting involved with the real estate, right?
Yeah, I decided I liked the climb up the mountain maybe than the view from the top of the mountain, and I wanted to do something a little more entrepreneurial and a little less corporate.
Okay, so let's talk about the past 10 years.
So just to fast forward, I took care of some of my health problems, and to set the stage, it's like kind of the mid part of the last decade, around 2005 or 6. I'm running the family office. We have an equities fund with about $100 million, and we have a variety of other assets that we allocate out to. And we're watching macro trends, and we realize there's going to be a credit bubble. And we correctly predicted that, and we set up the hedge fund and had a pretty good return. But we made a strategic, within the family office, we made a strategic decision that we wanted to buy physical assets, essentially real estate, in the countryside of that credit bubble, we saw a period of distressed real estate where there'd be a lot of opportunities to pick up distressed real estate. We wanted to be active managers. We didn't want to allocate. We didn't want to be in the back seat, so to speak.
Right.
So I convinced Larry Rappaport and Adam Altman to create KABR with me.
And KABR over the last couple of years has acquired how many properties? 60?
We've done about 45 transactions. We have about 32, 33 properties in our portfolio today, a little north of 3 million square feet of office.
And you're also developing in Jersey City,
Correct.
And you also have some property in Long Island and New Jersey over there.
We're like a tri-state metropolitan region entity. We do have some Florida assets, but most of our assets are up here in New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey.
So tell me about your wife and your children. You've been married, you met your wife. She originally came from Fleischmanns also.
She did. So I've been married 27 years. I have 3 children.
Tell me the names of your children.
So Sarah's 23, Daniel's.
Sarah's the one in Miami?
She graduated from Miami last May.
Right. And what is she doing now?
She's applying to some PhD programs in the New York area.
In what?
Psychology.
And then the next one?
Daniel's at Tufts studying engineering.
Right. He's the technical. He's going to be the.
Yes. Yeah. He's the right side brain type of guy.
Okay.
And then I have Rachel, who's 16.
The young one.
She's a little bit of both. So she's both an enigma and an opportunity.
You know, life is really strange. You know, growing up, it was cars, and then it was trading securities. Now it's trading real estate, right? It's always it's a trading environment, right?
Well, kind of in the DNA. I always tell a lot of the guys that I collaborate with that part of this Jewish DNA is that we're peddlers. So in the 1820s we were selling pots and pans. Then maybe in 1860s we're doing war bonds, and then we're looking at railroad stocks in the late part of that century, and we just keep migrating to find opportunities.
So we follow our traditions.
I think it's a tradition. I think we like to buy things and sell things.
Okay, thank you very much for being here today.
Thanks, it's an honor.